Hey guys, so I ran some basic math. Pretty much, and I'm just gonna do this really quickly. Bitcoin, so every 500 sat should equal like 40 to 50 bucks. Uh, and how did I get this? On if you go to Google, I'm gonna show you something. This is how you know it's what's planned, anyways. But go to Google and type in Bitcoin miner and hit like this. Click on the Foom Games. When you click on this, I'm going to show you something. It says earn real Bitcoin, right? And you see like trusted by 2 million players, NASDAQ, Decrypt, Venture, Pocket, Gamer, Bitcoin, and it talks about mining Bitcoin, and then it has like the managers, etc. It says cash out, it has the $42.69 right here for these. Which are considered sats, and they have a withdrawal limit of 500 a day. When you take this number, I'm just going to take this 42.69 instead. I'm going to show you something. 42.69 times that by 365 days, you come up with this total per year. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that total per year, and I'm going to do something. How much? That's at its evaluation then, not its evaluation now. Because 500 sats don't is that's not what it's the price is. So if that's 15,000, right? So that's 15,000 a year. Then you take that 15,000 times that 15,000 by 10. That's $150,000. So if you working every day, $150,000 would give you the ability, like you're then putting back enough for a retirement then, essentially, right? Most people want to have $1 million. So every year you're only able to cash out 500, and they put that in place for that reason, because 100 years would be $1.5 million. Most people are not going to live 100 years. Let's be realistic. Most live about 80 years. So let's put 80 years into that. 80, let's put 90. Just so it would be extra. 90 is $1.4 million. Majority of people are not going to make $1.4 million. Realistically. Let's be real. So then this is why I'm saying this. 500, it's capped for a reason at that. Okay, and this is the reason why. Okay, that's the reason why. So essentially, let's see what it is right now. Let's go clear this out, and then I'm just gonna type in this here. That, which is about half of that, is 82. So what we're gonna do then is we're gonna do this. 1182 divided by 2 is that. So a little bit more than what you're able to cash out per day, right? Which means right now is at this point right here. Right? No, it's at this point right here. It's at this point. So they expect for it to do that, essentially. About this to that. That's what they're expecting, somewhere around there. So if you take the current price of what it's at right now, which is about this, and you times it, this is the price of one total, which is 100 million of those. So that's going to be like the end price goal of what they're expecting at that I'm saying all that to say this is one, it's definitely still profitable to buy because you at least know it's gonna do this. So that means if you put this in, expect that. You can put this in, expect this. And this is doing this. Okay, and if you put this in, which is essentially this, expect that. So every this will give you this at that level. That means you need this just to hit that, which would be, you need this. That's what it's gonna take to have this at that evaluation. Like, period. And I'm saying this and that for a very specific reason. I'm not gonna go into detail about why I'm saying this and that versus actually divulging everything. But that's essentially where we're at right now. And then I think in a previous video, what was so let's do this number here and divide that by 277. When I divide it, yeah, that's at a price point of this. Would be at this price point. And I can tell you right now, they're expecting, this is just the expectation, by this date, they're expecting this to be the evaluation, which is this many, that's like really sloppy, so let me erase that. I'm gonna rewrite it. So if this is the evaluation of what that's going to be worth then, by this date, or this year I should say, by this year, which is this many years from now, they are expecting for this to equal this. So if that's their evaluation with that, and this is the time frame, then half that time frame. Because that's half of that time frame is going to give you about on average this. So expect this much time to go past to hit this per okay, which would equal okay. So that I'm writing the units down intentionally, but that's what honestly you should expect to happen. So let's see, clear, what is this year? This year's 2024. So by then, this is the date that you should be expecting for that to take place. Where that's what you should expect to take place. The amount of in the previous, you see me take gold and divide it by this. And whenever I divide it by that, I come up with like, it's like, or times more than, so since that was the number, then that's why I did the whole this and divided it by that. Which gives this amount, which shows per ounce. Why? Because look at this paper and it kind of is outlined. Not kind of, but it is outlined where they state that. So if they're stating it, that's how you should think about it or look at it. Because there's less these than there is this. This one's less, and this one's more. And that many can go into one. Okay? Which, if you think about it, not if you think about it, but one of these is the equivalent of now in current time in 2024, okay? And that's how the evaluation, then this one right here is technically writing this. All right, let's rewrite it. Is 1 is equal to 1 of those. Keep that in the back of your head. Or you want to own more technically this, then that's what you should do. Because, like I said, 10 this is technically so if you break it down like that, it's easier to compartmentalize, to understand. That's why they said each node has to be equal to blah 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 blah. And that would be how you would get this, because it's a part of the reserve currency of that underlying commodity asset backing it, and it's traded 1-to-1. And this is how 1-to-1, but it's worth this many of the one. So some quick math, quick easy way to break some stuff down and make it make a little bit more sense to as many people as possible. But right now, essentially breaking that down would be, I don't know how much that would be per thing. Let's see. Is there a way to like see it differently? Maybe I could do this, because I'm gonna hit this and I'm just gonna put this inside of there because I just want to see next. And I don't care who. Okay, so maybe I should do this. Oh, and that's how technically how you pay and stuff too, so that's interesting. So then what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna go here because I'm just curious as to how, like, the number value of what that is, because then I'm gonna divide it by 2 because I'm a curiosity. Starlers to ML, I guess. Now I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit no, I should hit receive actually. And that's why they have that right there. Do they have it where they can, like... let's do this. Okay. So I hit... Technically what I'm going to do then... Oh, wait. I don't even have to do that. Whoosh. Sheesh. I just do this. Which gives me what that is. And that would be what that is right now. So take that and divide it in 2. Clear. This is the number that I want. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna press X. I don't want to, like, press X like that. I want to, like, click out of it. And then you do this. Divided by 2. That's what that looks like. So each time that you, this is how much 500. This is how much 500. That's how much that equals. And so that's how much equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would be that. So essentially then what I'm going to do is times 965. And this would be considered a yearly salary. In conversion. Okay. So if that's considered a yearly salary, then that's why a lot of people have stated if you have, that are like experts in this area, have stated if you have this, you're going to have more than what most people have. Because this may not be necessarily uncommon, but this is going to be yearly. That'll be yearly at that point, which they're expecting this time frame. So, be prepared. Honestly, in all honesty, that's what I would do. I would just make sure that as long as you have this or more or greater, then you're going to be prepared for a lot of different things, which would be, this is what it is. Which then if you did clear, we'll just go to here. So I need to clear this and then I need to hit this number again. And I'm going to times it. Let's just say, let's 10x it. Right? This is about what most consider like middle class. This would be what the middle class would essentially do. So that would be this. That's what that would look like. And then greater than that would look like pretty much that are making 10x of that. If you're making this yearly, and you're in that range yearly, then that is this. So that right now would be clear. Clear. And then that would be this. So as long as you have this inside of there right now, if you have this inside of there, you're going to have this. You're going to reach this level. That's what's needed to reach that level. And that's what the math problem would look like. Less than this, greater than or equal to this. That's how I would, that's I essentially use proof and calculus and create the math for it, but that's what's needed. This right here in US dollars right now is what's needed in calculations to have this then. So, all you lovely, lovely, lovely people, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of answer, and this is what would be needed to have this for this period of time. It should be greater than or equal to, less than, greater than or equal to this, less than this. And that's how you figure that out. So now that the math has been done, because I kept seeing it and I'm like, okay, well, it's got to mean something. They're not just saying that and then for it to have been like with the NASDAQ and everything else. This is pre-planned. This is what's planned for it. So as long as you have that, you're gonna have that at any variation thereof. Again, let's go down onto a lower variation and divide by 2 again. This right here gives you this. That's how you come up with that number. So, this is because that gives you this. And that's in. So you have this, then you're gonna have this. Reduce it again, and I'm just a math person, okay, as you can tell. This gives you this. Divide that by 1/5. Gives you this. Every this that's earned is this. So I honest to God wouldn't be like, what in the world? Like, take it and this would be in that in this period of time, which would be in that period of time, which my handwriting is bad, so forgive me, but this period of time I'm going to rewrite it again. Would be another way to write that. So greater than this, less than and greater. Or equal to this. Which means that they expect for this by this, and that's the greater than or equal to for that time span too. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind. That's me doing math, calculus, breaking calculus, doing algebra, all the statistics, all the numbers. This is what the national government is, national countries are creating and breaking down. And I tried to break it down in as easy way as possible. And this is technically like $10 per day. Okay. So I'm telling you that because oh my gosh, I thought it was still going. So this is what you want to get for that, so that you have this in USD, which would be like what would be in your Bank of America account, your Fidelity, Chase, Wells Fargo, etc. This is what you need to back in this, okay? So every single thing that you want to spend, just make sure that you spend it. What I would do is I'd put a time capsule and say after this period of time has passed, which would be this year, I am going to buy, let's just say you want this house that's worth this. You want $500,000 car. You want a $1 million boat. Create your budget now by putting that in that manner, okay? And it just broke down the math as how to do that. So let's just say you want $1 million house, a $500,000 car, and a $1 million boat. That's $2.5 million, right? What you do then is you clear, and then you go to, I'm just gonna type this in, times that by 2.5. No, not divide it, times. That's how much needs to get put back to have that balance at that time. You want to make sure your taxes are paid with that. Put it in a staking platform, because your staking can get back 4%, can get back 7%, depends on where you're going as far as staking, which then pays the taxes as well. That's how you think. That's how you go about that. Now, you want to go ahead and get this? Okay, you can. But if you're willing to wait this to the period has passed, then this is all that you need to put back now for that future then. Let's just say you want cash on hand too. Plus this. Okay, so this would be your total. This would be your total amount that you would need to get put back. So you can have $1 million house, $500,000 car, and $1 million boat. Throw in $1 million airplane. Guess what? All you do is plus this clear by this. It's that simple. So that's what you do. You find out what you want. Go shopping for it now. Go find the value. Go figure it out. Take that number. And let's just say everything is $1 million. You want a house, you want a car, you want a boat, and you want an airplane. Well, you're going to need this much. So if you're going to need that much, then you put back times 4. And there you go. That's what you would need to reach that goal. Now let's just say you also want extra cash because maybe you want to retire too as well. You put back whatever that amount is for retirement by doing that. An extra meal, right? That's what you need to put back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 items, and then you have $1 million extra inside the bank. Now let's just say it's at 40% taxes like it is now. Go ahead and tax plan for that. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, taxes, 40% of everything. That means you technically would need to at least double it and put back this. That way, if taxes are 40%, then you pay for taxes and you pay for all your items. And that's what you need to reach. That's how you build wealth, accumulate wealth, and then be able to keep whatever it is. Now, it may be less than that. If it's less than that, and but that's your budget at least. Now you have a budget. Now you have a plan in place. Now you have a budget. Now it's game time. Instead of being like, oh, well, I don't know what I want to do, blah, 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 blah. Now you have a plan in place. That plan is going to get you places because that plan's going to get you places. And this plan also will make it where it happens sooner. Where, okay, maybe before then it reaches that certain level and you go ahead and take a certain portion out because you're just like, whatever. I'm not going to, XYZ. I'm just going to kind of do this, that, and the other. Then that's what you do. But that's how you plan that. And you plan it wisely so that you can get where you need to go and how you need to get there. So, because let me ask you a quick question. I'm sorry, I just went to the restroom, so that's kind of whatever. But if the government has been seizing Bitcoin, right? They've been seizing it. If you seize something, you take it, right? What's one thing that they seized back in 1932? Everyone's like, well, they're going to seize our gold. They're going to seize our gold. They're going to seize our gold. They're already doing it, blindsiding you and already doing it because most have had their Bitcoin seized already or had this seized already. If they already have it seized and they're taking and seizing stuff right now, what does that tell you about the value of Bitcoin? If they're seizing your crypto assets right now, This is what they did back in 1932, but a lot of people don't understand it, and the majority of people are avoiding it. Like the they're going, stuff is bad. I don't want this. They're already doing what they did back in 19 whenever, and saying, oh no, we're banning it. You can't have this. What are they trying to do within crypto? We're banning it. You can't have it. Everyone's going, oh, they're going to do it back to gold again. No, they outsmarted you. They're doing it inside the digital asset space where you don't think is very valuable, and they're stealing from you right in front of your face. And you're just like, yeah, it has to be a good thing because everybody's scared of it. So they're kind of doing a double thing right now just so that people stay as far away from it as possible. So, and then the crazy thing about it is, like, the white paper came out for the BRICS for the nations on how they're going to trade, and it's backed by Bitcoin. That's why government seized it. So why in the world would they seize something that's not valuable? Because it's backed 1-to-1 for gold. One Bitcoin is worth 200, 300, 400 ounces of gold. But people don't know that, and they don't understand that. They just know there's 21 million Bitcoin, but they don't know that there's 3 something billion? I did that in the last not paper, but video that I put out. I said how many Bitcoin there were to ratio wise to gold, and it was like 200 or close to 300 X, 277X or 377X. Well, that's probably divided perfectly, or it was divided perfectly per ounce. So every Bitcoin, that's why they say every Bitcoin is not necessarily worth the same amount, because of the Satoshis. That's also goes for gold. Not every ounce of gold is worth the same amount of gold. So there may be a 300 ounce gold bar, and then there's a 277 or 91 ounce gold bar, and then there's a 500 gold bar, but they all just about run about the same. They're not telling you that. They're already seizing essentially what's considered gold, because you can go into outer space and go mine gold. Not a lot of people know that or understand that, which is how they have the plan on making gold inflationary, or as it's still deflationary, but creating an inflationary or a way to add gold outside of mining gold from here in Earth. They have plans on. That's why it was such a big deal whenever this was back in 2022, I think 2022 or 2023. There was an explosion that happened in in outer space in the galaxies, and they used a telescope and said, we detect gold over there. We're detecting gold. Yeah, you're detecting gold. You're going to mine gold in outer space and then bring it back to the United States and create golds. Then that's how gold's going to create this inflationary type setting. That's why it's going to inflate and deflate, because they're going to send people out to go mine it. And that's how we're going to build wealth for nations. So it's going to be a gold rush for who can get an auto spaceship, who can go mine whatever in space and all this other type of stuff. Those are going to be the new sought out jobs as far as people are concerned. But then you're going to have robots. People are going to be like, robots do it 10 times better, but they're going to need at least one person or two to manage those robots. So then they're going to have a person or two either here on Earth or that's there. Oh, this is what we're going to mine it and then refine it and make sure that it is, just to make sure that nothing crazy is going back to Earth. So, but that's where we're headed. And if you look at, it's called Uncensored Crypto, there's politicians that have actually stated that the same thing that I'm stating right now in this 40-minute video. If you go on Uncensored Crypto, let's see, what's it called? You would need to let me click out of this. Go to, I think it's Rumble. Do I even have a Rumble? I probably do. Let's go to Google. I think it's called Rumble. Yeah, it is. And then from Rumble, sign in. I don't know if it's under this email, so bear with me. Kind of just trying to figure out right now. It may not be 100% sure. Continue. Okay, one moment. I thought I already had an email. I don't want to create, just sign in. Alternate. So I don't have a Rumble? Maybe it's through Facebook. Continue. I thought I already had an account. 1 second. Okay, so it's right here, Uncensored Crypto Docu-Series. Because I'm pretty sure that's the color that I was looking at earlier. Yeah, it's this right here. And what I would do, I challenge you to literally go through this and just take some time to listen through these. And there should be 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way. Like, this is 2022's. The bonus one I don't think I've seen, but I've seen all the other ones. I just challenge you to listen to this because I listened to it and I was just blown away. They talk about politicians in all these different countries owning crypto and all this other stuff. They talk about gold and mining it in outer space and stuff. I'm gonna actually follow because I actually thought I was. I'm gonna actually copy this too and send it directly to a particular person that I know is kind of interested too. It also, like, well, they're having to do research anyways on this stuff. But also to get your attention. But yeah, I just sat there and I just broke down the math with every aspect, and you have to understand the Nasdaq's going to be involved because BlackRock manages $10 trillion, which means they have at least 20% of the Nasdaq they own. Essentially, they manage 20% of the Nasdaq's assets. So, of course, they would be the ones to create that formula of 500 sats per day, which totals out to be about $40-50 per day. So if you have multiple phones and you're doing the same thing and it's going into the same wallet, or maybe you have a different wallet, however you choose to do it, but it's still making you money, pretty much the more devices you have, the more money that you're going to make in that time span. And I don't know if they're going to put a limit to how many phones you have the ability of having, but it's a great way to like have backup because you don't necessarily know what's going to take place and what's going to technically happen. But $40-50 a day, and that's by year 2037. They're expecting for that evaluation to take place. I write that down here. I also go and explain how by 2050 is when they're expecting the top, which would be about 50,000. But they're also talking about reevaluating it to 150,000 because they want to balance the entire books entirely. But by 2037, gold, by 2030, they're expecting gold to hit $10,000. So it doesn't make, it makes complete sense. It's actually linear that gold would hit about 25,000 by 2037 and upward based off that linear. I literally just found dots of what national governments are attempting to do along with BlackRock, along with the Nasdaq, based off of the little clues that they're giving. And I may have a little bit of the crumbs that they're giving me, but I'm making a cookie out of the crumb, okay? Out of the crumbs. So, but yeah, that's what they're essentially doing. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.